A person who truly loves you will give you to things without any reason, care and impartiality. To become wiser and more experienced, watch this video to the end. A wonderful fact to reflect upon: that every human creature is constituted to be that profound secret and mystery to every other. I don't know what's worse, to not know what you are and be happy, or to become what you've always wanted to be and feel alone. I know enough to know that no woman should ever marry a man who hated his mother. Our wounds are often the openings into the best and most beautiful part of us. Every form of addiction is bad, no matter whether the narcotic be alcohol, morphine, or idealism. As a child, I felt myself to be alone, and I am still, because I know things and must hint at things which others apparently know nothing of, and for the most part do not want to know. There are some people you like immediately, some whom you think you might learn to like in the fullness of time, and some that you simply want to push away from you with a sharp stick. I suppose it is tempting, if the only tool you have is a hammer, to treat everything as if it were a nail. All I know is this: nobody's very big in the first place, and it looks to me like everybody spends their whole life tearing everybody else down. Sometimes, if you want to change a man's mind, you have to change the mind of the man next to him first. How can I be substantial if I do not cast a shadow? I must have a dark side also if I am to be whole. Mistakes are, after all, the foundations of truth, and if a man does not know what a thing is, it is at least an increase in knowledge if he knows what it is not. If you discovered something that made you tighten inside, you had better try to learn more about it. Common sense and a sense of humor are the same thing, moving at different speeds. A sense of humor is just common sense, dancing. Through pride we are ever deceiving ourselves, but deep down below the surface of the average conscience a still, small voice says to us, something is out of tune. When good people consider you the bad guy, you develop a heart to help the bad ones. You actually understand them. A life that is burdened with expectations is a heavy life. Its fruit is sorrow and disappointment. Many human beings say that they enjoy the winter, but what they really enjoy is feeling proof against it. Not knowing how he lost himself, or how he recovered himself, he may never feel certain of not losing himself again. All children should be taught to unconditionally accept, approve, admire, appreciate, forgive, trust, and ultimately love their own person. My love is something valuable to me, which I ought not to throw away without reflection. The desire to annoy no one, to harm no one, can equally well be the sign of a just as of an anxious disposition. Every criticism, judgment, diagnosis, and expression of anger is the tragic expression of an unmet need. Only the liberation of the natural capacity for love in human beings can master their sadistic destructiveness. The greater a child's terror, and the earlier it is experienced, the harder it becomes to develop a strong and healthy sense of self. The primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but your thoughts about it. Be aware of the thoughts you are thinking. It's in our biology to trust what we see with our eyes. This makes living in a carefully edited, overproduced and photoshopped world very dangerous. The world makes much less sense than you think. The coherence comes mostly from the way your mind works. To be prepared against surprise is to be trained. To be prepared for surprise is to be educated. When a love relationship is at its height, there is no room left for any interest in the environment. A pair of lovers are sufficient to themselves. In my opinion, our healthcare system has failed when a doctor fails to treat an illness that is treatable. Vulnerability is not knowing victory or defeat. It's understanding the necessity of both. It's engaging. it's being all in. Whole life is a search for beauty, but when the beauty is found inside, the search ends and a beautiful journey begins. A word devoid of thought is a dead thing, and a thought embodied in words remains a shadow. It's your fiction that interests me, your studies of the interplay of human motives and emotion. Death anxiety is the mother of all religions, which, in one way or another, attempt to temper the anguish of our finitude. It is a predisposition of human nature to consider an unpleasant idea untrue, and then it is easy to find arguments against it. The only part of you that hurts when you're given the truth is the part that lives on lies. If the sound of happy children is grating on your ears, I don't think it's the children who need to be adjusted. Love, I've come to understand, is more than 3 words mumbled before bedtime. Every atom of your flesh is as dear to me as my own. In pain and sickness it would still be dear. And next time you're planning to injure yourself to get me attention, just remember that a little sweet talk works wonders. I have feelings too. I am still human. All I want is to be loved, for myself and for my talent. Love is the extremely difficult realization that something other than oneself is real. When it's gone, you'll know what a gift love was. You'll suffer like this, so go back and fight to keep it. Romance is thinking about your significant other, when you are supposed to be thinking about something else. Love, I've come to understand, is more than 3 words mumbled before bedtime. True love is not so much a matter of romance, as it is a matter of anxious concern for the well-being of one's companion. I have feelings too. I am still human. All I want is to be loved, for myself and for my talent. I don't know what they are called, the spaces between seconds, but I think of you always in those intervals. I have never found anybody who could stand to accept the daily demonstrative love I feel in me, and give back as good as I give. The scariest thing about distance is that you don't know whether they'll miss you or forget you. The moment you stop to think about whether you love someone, you've already stopped loving that person forever. You're like a song that I heard when I was a little kid, but forgot I knew until I heard it again. No matter how much you think you love somebody, you'll step back when the pool of their blood edges up to close. To become more intelligent, watch our new videos and playlists.